thanks to our great sponsors, Jack Burford Chevrolet, ExpressRoofing.net, Cumberland Valley National Bank, CSEP, State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goble Agent, Luxury Pet Services, Equipment, Sales and Rentals, May Marketing, KYmedia.net, Real Life Community Church, Time Warner Cable, and Madison County Schools.
Welcome to the Coach John Clark Show. Hi, I'm Samantha Burford with Madison County School Sports Television. We want you to watch the head coach John Clark Show of Madison Southern Eagles.
If you want to learn about these guys, tune in to Madison County School Sports Television. Let's go.
The John Clark Show, brought to you by Cumberland Valley National Bank.
Welcome back to the Coach John Clark Show. I'm Samantha Burford, here with the head coach of the Madison Southern Eagles, John Clark, and we're in a different location today, aren't we, Coach?
Yes, we are.
It's pretty exciting to be in your new weight room facility.
It's been awesome. We actually have a place, we just got done with team pictures, 81 boys in the team shot today. So it's nice to have a training facility that can facilitate that now. It's been a long time coming. We're pretty excited, and we're getting a lot of use out of it.
That seems like a lot of football players to have move around the football stands. See this hair? It used to be curly until I was out there helping you move the players around.
I'm glad you guys got to experience that. It was a process, wasn't it? They actually did really good tonight. They did really well. You just told them where to go, and they did it. So you got a group of good listeners. I have an outstanding group of boys right now on this team. I'm more excited this year. I was telling my wife, last week or so, just how much fun it is to coach right now. We have very few problems, and when you're dealing with teenage boys, there's always problems. Yeah. But it just when you can just really get down to the heart of the game, and then the issues they're dealing with in their lives, and how to be a better person, and how to play better football, and how to train the right way and eat the right way. We're not dealing with little things about, little picky things about so-and-so is acting like this and shouldn't be doing this, and they really are.
I thought that's usually girls that do that.
I mean, it's no different, but this
boys
team,
do it too.
This team is just, they really look after each other, and they're dedicated, and it's awesome. I mean, it's fun. It's fun to coach. We get down to more of the serious stuff we want to get down to, and less of the nitpicky
less of
things.
the petty kind of stuff.
That's exactly right.
So you had your first scrimmage last night. How'd it go?
It was hot.
Yes. Ooh. Yeah. Still hot.
Everybody that played sports last night felt it. It went really well. Humidity was brutal last night.
Which worries me about them staying hydrated, about muscle
especially
cramps.
with everything the way it is now with hydration.
Right.
We had a couple cramp guys, but it's early on in the season. Yeah. You play an early game. Next week we're playing the Death Valley Bowl, 6 o'clock game time. So it's going to be thick humidity. It's going to be hot. Lincoln County's field, they call it the Death Valley for a reason. The way it sits down the valley, it's always moist down there. There's
air circulation.
So it's going to be a scorcher. I think, saw a lot of great things. My favorite film session of the year is after the first game.
It is. Why?
Because the biggest improvements, jump and improvement comes after the first game, because they've had a live act of it against somebody else that's not each other. They got out of their comfort zone by going to somewhere else to play.
Got the nerves out a little bit.
Lights kicked on. Yeah. So they had to perform under pressure, get the nerves out, and then how many times we could pause the film and say, all right, imagine if this one guy does this, what this play would look like. And then it's always those aha moments, oh, that's a good play if I get that block right, or that's a great play if I squeeze and reduce like I'm supposed to.
Now's the time you want them learning that too.
Yeah. So every coach in America is doing that right now. Yes. But the aha moments, the question of who will be the best teams is from week 1 to 2, scrimmage to first game, who closes that gap by making the corrections the fastest. Last year we did the same thing. We had our scrimmage against Somerset, then we had our first game. Last year we were an extremely young team. It took us 4 to 5 weeks to get all those little things ironed out to where we were finally clicking. I just hope it doesn't take us that long this year. We have a little more experience, but we do have some young guys on the field still. So the goal is to get it fixed in a week.
Do you think your team is as young? I mean, obviously they're not as young as they were last year, so you got a little bit more experience.
Well, we graduated a lot of guys, but we also had a lot of guys that played as young guys.
Right.
We played 31 guys on the varsity field on defense last night. We've never rotated and repped guys and had depth like this.
I was going to say, that seems pretty deep for opening.
It's a lot of kids. There's a lot of mistakes when you have that. There's a lot of good things. There's a lot of good, exciting to see that many kids able to get on a varsity field. That's a ton of reps. So we're pumped about that. You know, we're trying to build our depth. Every high school season's always about, you know, you have one or two go down. It's always about depth. Everybody. People talk about it all the time. I got to practice lighter because guys can't get hurt in practice. We lost Andrew Miller last year.
Right.
The effect that had on our team, it took us 5 weeks to overcome that.
Yes,
he was that important to us.
Yes.
So that was a lesson to me. I'm trying not, you know, 2 years in a row, we were 5-0. Damian goes down, and our offense was designed around a one-cut go guy. And when you don't have another one-cut go guy, our offense just completely shut down. Losing Andrew Miller last year, our offense revolved around him at tight end. So I'm learning as I go. We're trying to not be so revolved around one specific guy so we can adjust to things.
Well, and I think as a coach, that's smart.
It's part of growth. You know, I'm going into my 6th year. I'm not a veteran by any means, but I'm a lot more seasoned than I was when I was 30 years old and was doing this.
Right. We had to be proud of this new weight room, and we want to remind everybody, when you come to the first home game, you guys have never had a concession stand.
Yeah.
So with all this facility, you got a new concession stand outside, so that's kind of nice.
You get your ticket. There's a nice place over here to grab a beverage and something to eat. And you don't have to walk all the way over to the school underneath the awning through the rain. It's pretty neat. So we're excited. As 2016 hit, we're excited to have a concession stand at our football stadium.
And I'm sure your fans appreciate that as well.
I know soccer had a Soccer-Rama here last night, and I saw people coming and going from the concession stand when we got back, and I just thought, that's pretty neat. Like, a lot of people don't appreciate that until when you haven't had one for so long.
When you had to walk half a mile to get to the food. And
now you realize like how cool it is to actually have just a concession stand. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, it is pretty neat. Now you got to find workers for it.
Well,
I don't think you guys have trouble with that.
Our band runs the concession. I'm ecstatic for them to have a place to do it out of.
Not only are you guys out there practicing in the heat, the band, they're out there practicing in the heat too.
They might be the toughest kids in the county. They're out on those blacktop hours and hours on ends.
Yes. I was taking pictures of them out there earlier while we were waiting on you all to get your pictures.
Our band's awesome too. Mr. Ratliff does a great job, and there's a lot of respect from our kids to them. It's funny, we always know when football season's here because I always remind the kids, hey, don't park in the parking lot.
Yeah, they got signs everywhere.
Yeah. And I remember when I first got here, the kids were like, what do you mean don't park in the parking lot? It's our parking lot. I'm like, how would you like it if they were playing, if they parked their tubas on your field?
Right, you couldn't play.
They're like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, they get it.
That's their game field.
Right.
I mean, they gotta prepare
their facility. It's a parking lot, but
when they hear them on Friday night, they realize, I'm really glad they have that. They have that great venue to practice too.
Well, when you talk about Friday nights, you never have an easy schedule. I know you coach, you never make it easy. You make it these young men ready for the playoffs.
That's what the hope is.
What do you think about this season?
Same as last year, we added a game. We were a game short last year. We were at 9, added Western Hills at home in the first half of the schedule. Just really worked hard this offseason to find that extra game. Really wanted it the year before, but we didn't have anybody that fit with
your schedule.
Yeah, couldn't get it done. Western Hills was leaving a contract with another team, was able to get them to come here. So we're 5-5, 5 home, 5 away. We open up this next Friday night with Lincoln County at the Death Valley Bowl. It's their home stadium. Lincoln's been a team, we've played them every year I've been here except for last year. It's the first time we hadn't played them. There's a good rivalry there. So the rivalry in the school, they own the rivalry between the schools. But we've had our handle. We've won the last 3.
Yeah.
So they're very well coached. Travis LeFew is a good friend of mine. Was a great high school player in Kentucky. He's a great coach. They're going to be very sound, very well coached. It's usually a high-scoring affair. Teams score in the 30s and 40s when we play each other. So we're excited next Friday to go to Lincoln and lock horns with them.
Yeah, and as a fan and a parent, media, all of us, those are fun games to watch.
It is, and they used to be in our district, so there's like a rivalry there. They were in our district before we moved, so we're excited to play them.
And as far as your schedule goes, is there any game this season that you're like really anxious about? Every week you are.
I wouldn't sit here and say we look forward to any specific one, but there's always the central game. I mean,
Still at the end of the season, like always.
Yes. Now the next rotation, it'll move up to the front of the schedule. But yeah, I love playing Central. And anybody that's in this county now knows that's where you are on that Friday night.
Yeah.
How cool is it that didn't even used to be a game on the schedule, and now it's
You're
turned
right.
into one of the best rivalry games in this state, hands down. I mean, how many people were there last year?
It was a lot.
I mean, you're looking at 10,000 people almost at that game every year we play. I think it's awesome. So that one's always one that we're excited about.
Yeah.
You know, I talked to Coach Sanders, I think it was about a week ago. You know, being in such close proximity, we share the same school system, just how we love how healthy the rivalry is. The kids know each other. We talked about this before. They compete, but they respect each other, and I love that. So
and they all know each other.
Yeah, that's an exciting game.
They're all friends on social media.
Pulaski's a big game for us. It always is. You know, they were in our district before, and they've had a great run with their group of seniors this last year. We started playing them as freshmen. We lost to them 3 games by a total of about 8 points in there, I think, at one point. And then they started to really do this. And I mean, there's a reason they've played for the state title, I think 2 out of the last 3 years. I mean, they're a great team, well coached, and I look forward to playing them. That's the one team that since we've been here, you know, Pulaski's got our numbers.
I was getting ready to say.
I
wasn't going to say that, but you said it.
I mean, it is what it is, and rightfully so. They've played well. They've played well against us.
They have a long tradition.
You know,
of good football.
Something that's funny to think about is I remember when I first came here, and Southern had never beaten Rockcastle, and Southern had never beaten Central, and everybody's like, those are our rivals. I'm like, well, it's not a rivalry if you've never beat them.
Yeah.
To them, we're just another team on the schedule.
Yeah.
And I think we're probably becoming that way to Pulaski, but we're going to see if we can't spark a rivalry in there like it feels to us a little bit more. We need a win to do that, though.
Yeah. So as far as any comments that you want, I know you're always needing boosters, you're needing funds to help.
We're like every school, I mean, in this county. I mean, we raise every dime on our own. We appreciate donations. Our sponsorship, the community is really rallying behind us this year. Sponsorship is going well. We're doing something a little different with our signage. We're actually doing on-field sideline signs like you would see in a college game.
Right, like the EKU has.
Absolutely. They're going to be it's going to line the field. It looks better, and it's better exposure for your company. So I'm excited about that. I think it brings a good dynamic to the stadium. So if you are interested in sponsoring our team, reach out to myself or call the school, and they can tell you how to get in touch with us, and we can.
It's a great idea.
We can get you set up.
Yeah. Now I also noticed the scoreboard.
Yes.
Looks a little different this year.
It does. Our scoreboard was probably one of the older ones around.
Yeah.
New scoreboard up, looks great. There is signage on the scoreboard now finally, so it's starting to feel like, you know, when you have to raise all your money for everything you do, you've got to have things that allow you to do that, and it just takes time.
It does. It's a process. I know, you know, what was it, 2 years ago, you all got the banners on the fence.
Yes.
That, you know,
yes. I mean,
every year is a little different.
That was exciting to have a fence to put a banner on.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a gradual deal, but there's an end goal in sight that we see, and it's starting to change. And, you know, 6 years ago, we knew what we wanted this to become. When I took the job here, a lot of conversation took place about the vision of where we're going, and we're starting to really come into some of those visions, and it's exciting. You know, my staff, all of my staff, but a couple guys have been here for 6 years now together.
I was going there. Anybody changed?
We had Tony Terry, who was on our freshman staff. He retired. His son graduated, so he stepped down, and then we picked up another coach from Foley. Charles Tinsley, who's a great young coach. He's a local law enforcement as well, which I don't think you can have enough of those guys on your staff.
Well, that's true.
And then, you know, Clayton Barnes, as of last year, we were officially able to hire him. He's 21 years old. He's been doing stat breakdown stuff for us. But in Madison County, you have to be 21 to actually coach. So once he turned 21, hired him. He's now officially our line coach. He does an unbelievable job. So I love our staff. Our staff is awesome, and we're gelling well. And I think for the first time, you know, every coach has your strengths and weaknesses. One of my weaknesses is I control everything. I mean, I don't
think there's not a head coach that does it, really.
I'll tell you what, that's not.
I mean, you guys are a little OCD.
It's not a strong suit because
you micromanage.
I'm guilty of being the guy that, and this comes with age and maturity. You know, I've grown a lot in the last few years, and I'm guilty of being the guy that sits there and I talk about how great my staff is, and they are, and I know they are. But yet, was I really allowing them to do what
their job,
what I knew they could do? And if not, then I needed to. And
right.
that was something that we really worked on this summer, talking with them and just really deciding, you know, I realized I need to step back in some areas and let the horses run.
Yeah.
And since that's happened, it's just the dynamic of our staff right now has probably never been better.
Well, it gives them some more ownership of the team as well.
Yeah, and that's something as a guy that's not from here, came from a different state, didn't know anybody else. I knew one guy was hired, Kevin Kling was the only one I knew. So it just took time to really get a feel for, plus this being a high school program versus college is different. You know, when you come from a college environment, which is all I'd ever known, everybody's job is football. And
okay.
then your job is football, and if you don't do football 24/7, you're going to lose your job.
Yes.
It's different in high school. Everybody's job is not football. You have teachers that are football guys. You have police officers. You have preachers. You have business owners. You have some dads that are football. They love football.
Yes.
Well, I've got a good mix of, I actually am fortunate enough that I have a lot of guys on my staff that are still football guys like I am. So it's great.
That makes it a little more fun for you.
I'll tell you what, I'm having more fun coaching now than I ever have, and part of it is getting out of my own way. But
I admire that you try different things every year. You know, one year you said, I'm going to go up top. I'm going to try to coach the offense from up there.
Yes. And it was
then
good.
You said, I'm going to try.
Yeah,
you did it a couple of weeks, and then you said, no, I don't like the way this is going. I'm going to go back.
Well, and it was good for the X's and O's side of our team. It wasn't good for the sideline dynamic.
Right.
So I'm learning as I go. You know, I think we have a real good feel for where our strengths and weaknesses are in our team right now. I know my strengths and weaknesses. My strengths are working with kids. My strength is motivating, finding what they're good at, putting them in a position to do what they're good, helping them see what they're capable of doing.
Right.
Those are the things that I do well. I think we're pretty good also at the year-round organization, how to train the athlete. People think all we do is lift weights. We have one of the best training programs for athletes in the nation. And you'll see that in our kids. You know, AJ,
you might want to explain that to our viewers, because I'm going to suggest that it's nutrition, it's
everything.
It's all across the board
we treat
to everyone.
Each of our kids like a Division I college athlete would have a nutritionist, a strength program. Our strength program is different based on the position you play at times. Sometimes guys are trying to bulk up. Sometimes guys are focusing on speed. Sometimes it's a flexibility training that you need. But there's all these different phases that you need to train properly to get to be the best you can be in not just football, but any sport. So when you leave here, you're going to jump your highest. I need you to be your strongest, but we got to find what's the strongest and fastest you can be at the most you can weigh. And is this weight, maybe, 300 may be too much. 278 may be too light. Maybe 282 is your optimal weight. Finding that balance within kids and then getting them to buy in to why it's important to them.
Right. Well, and I can appreciate that you can explain that to our viewers, because it's changed. Football has changed a lot, because the viewers could be parents, grandparents. It's different than the way they played football back when they were in school.
You know what's fun to me? What's fun to me is when I have parents tell me that they have to go school shopping because, Nate's jeans don't fit anymore, and that's a good sign. When our kids come to me and say, Coach, I have to wear a 36 now because my legs don't fit in my pants.
Yeah.
Those are good things. To see their bodies change and to see their confidence grow at this age is just really an awesome thing.
Well, we're excited. We're ready for football. Yeah. It is August, right? It's back to school. It's August, and it's picture day for the Madison Southern Eagles.
Thank the Lord.
You're glad it's over. We appreciate you changing up your schedule for us today, because pictures took a little longer than what we thought.
If I didn't have this to do today, I'd probably still be on the bleachers, so this is good.
We were going to shoot the show at Cumberland Valley National Bank like we typically do. They are your official coach's sponsor. Yeah. So we didn't want them sitting around waiting on us tonight in the bank.
And since they are the coach's show sponsor, I think we've really
almost
cashed
7
in on that. We've really cashed in on that sponsorship.
He's never going to let us live those bank jokes down. We'll have more bank jokes on the next show at Cumberland Valley. Coach, thank you. Absolutely. I know it's hot and sweaty outside today, so we're thankful that you let us in the weight room.
I'm thankful we have this weight room to
I am
be
too.
in right now.
I am too, because it is air conditioned.
Something else that's worth noting about the weight room is, I have a lot of people ask me about this. when I first came here, there were 26 kids in weights class. I have 5 full advanced fitness and beginners conditioning classes now. Last year we had 251 total students in training conditioning courses.
Yes.
Like this, which is awesome.
Well,
it's going to help all sports.
It's a big growth.
Yeah, it's really great.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's not just going to help football. That's going to help
everything.
All across the board.
And we design programs around what they need to do, and I love it. It's fun.
Well, you should be very proud, and your school should be very proud. This is a beautiful facility, and we appreciate you letting us in here.
Awesome.
And we're looking forward to your first home game.
Next week, Death Valley
August 19th, right?
Yep, next Friday, 6 p.m. kickoff. It's early. Leave work early. Your boss will understand. And football season is officially kicked off.
It is. All right. Thank you, Coach Clark. Thank you. Thank you for watching. And we're here at the weight room facility. Next time we'll be back at Cumberland Valley National Bank.
Thanks to our great sponsors, Jack Burford Chevrolet, ExpressRoofing.net, Cumberland Valley National Bank, CSEP, State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goble Agent, Luxury Pet Services, Equipment, Sales and Rentals, May Marketing, KYmedia.net, Real Life Community Church, Time Warner Cable, and Madison County Schools.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison County School Superintendent Elmer Thomas, and I want to thank you for watching Madison County School Sports Television.
Follow Madison County School Sports Television on Twitter, or like us on Facebook, MCS TV, and of course, watch all of our videos on YouTube.